At my mom's farewell, my dad brought his illegitimate son home. The guy was literally singing and dancing, and dad demanded I call him brother. Even actress Lou Nhyn, the girl I spent a fortune to make a top star, she actually made front page news putting on a whole act with him at a party. At his girlfriend selection event, he showed up holding Lou Nhyn. They wore matching couple rings worth tens of millions, totally showing off. He arrogantly sneered, "Little brother, that belongs to me. Your girlfriend is mine too. Even your status as the Koo family heir is all mine." But Lou Nhyn just coldly replied that she had secretly liked Nh for years. "Kubit, I never actually liked you. Let's break up." I just laughed. She was just a tiny fraction of my world. So what right did she have to dump me? After I kicked him out, Nh stubbornly ran back into my mom's memorial hall. He stood right in front of me, still wearing morning clothes, acting all mature and saying, "Little brother, I know you are feeling so heartbroken, but she has been gone for 49 days now. You need to step out of the shadows. Come out. Let's talk." Such a shame. With just one glance, I saw right through his absolute stupidity. Is this really the illegitimate son Koo Than brought home to proudly show off so ridiculously at my mom's funeral? The absolute funniest part is that Nh is 1 year older than me. As he stood up, the butler rushed in, bowing respectfully to me. "Young master, he does not understand the rules. I will immediately escort him out of here right now. We cannot let madam's resting soul be disturbed any longer." Stepping out, Nh shoved away the butler and angrily followed me closely to the pool. I stepped up the stairs, looking down at him from above. "Go ahead, speak." Nh tightly gripped the edge of his shirt. Then he also stepped up onto the stairs, facing me. "Little brother, dad only ever loved my mom. He was forced into marrying yours. Now that she is gone, I have returned to the Koo family. I am older than you, so I should be the true eldest young master here. You have enjoyed this for 22 years, so just be satisfied. Remember to tell the butler and servants to change how they address us. Do not cause trouble, got it?" I just laughed out loud. Did he really not know? Koo Than is just a puppet? He wants to replace me in the Koo family, yet didn't even bother investigating? Doesn't he know? Not even Koo Than can do a single thing to me? Realizing his true capabilities, I honestly just felt so bored. Too lazy to even argue. I raised my leg and kicked him right in the chest. Splash! Nh clumsily fell straight into the water. He struggled and screamed out, "Kubit, how dare you treat me like this? Dad will never forgive you for this. Pull me up and I will forgive you." I didn't even bother turning my head as I walked away. My mom's 49 days of mourning were done. It was finally time to start a brand new life. Then I remembered Lou Nhyn, that actress I had backed. Now watch where this goes. It gets crazy. When I was 10, Mom took me to an international academy to help out poor kids. I picked 10 pretty girls who looked exactly like dolls, and Lou Nhyn was one of them. 2 years ago, a leaked video of her auditioning for a young empress role went viral. I actually really liked her look, so I threw cash at her, made her my own exclusive little plaything. I have been pretty busy lately, so I really wonder if she has been behaving. On my way over to visit Lou Nhyn, I got a furious call from Koo Than. "Kubit, are you trying to end your brother? Do not take this too far." I just let out a cold laugh. I have no brother, and I wouldn't mind not having a dad either. Koo Than furiously screamed back at me, "You are a total traitor." I ignored him, hung up. At my mom's funeral, Koo Than blatantly paraded his illegitimate son around to show off. I just wanted my mom to rest in peace, so I didn't deal with those clowns. But it seems I was way too kind. I parked by the road, made a quick international call, and then kept driving over to Lou Nhyn's place. Arriving at the set, I found out the crew had already finished filming. Tonight was their wrap party. Honestly, Lou Nhyn wasn't a bad plaything. She's gorgeous. Taking her out never makes me look bad, and she knows exactly how to please me, so I felt a tiny bit regretful. I checked my phone one last time. Over the past 49 days, she hasn't contacted me even once. The corners of my lips curled up. How interesting. At 7 in the evening sharp, I showed up at the bustling party. With just one glance, I immediately spotted Nh. He was dressed sharply in an Armani suit and the newest Patek Philippe watch, looking completely different from that pathetic mess when I kicked him into the pool this morning. Lu Nhin was holding his arm, gazing at him with such intense, absolute affection. Two staff members near me started whispering. I always thought top star Lu was quite cold and distant. I never expected her to be so sweet. To her boyfriend, what do you know? Nhin is the eldest young master of a wealthy family. You think these high-end clothes are expensive? They literally wear them once and throw them away. Top star Lu doesn't need to bow down for money. Obviously, young master Y is so perfectly polite and talented. They are the absolute perfect match of beauty and talent. It must be true love. As I walked past, a staff member immediately frowned. This rap party is for the monster crew. You aren't cast or crew. How did you enter? I faced Lu Nhin and pointed a finger right at her. I'm looking for her. The other staff member instantly looked disgusted. Excuse me, are you some crazy fan of Top Star Lu or something? Get out of here, you are totally not welcome. I stared right at Lu Nhin and called out her name loudly. The noisy scene suddenly fell dead silent. You can literally feel the panic. Lu Nhin dropped Nhin's arm, staring at me in pure horror. Nhin instantly got furious, but quickly calmed himself. He grabbed her waist, pulled her right in front of me, and held up their couple rings, totally showing off to provoke me. Little brother, dad, is mine. Your girlfriend is mine. The status of the Ku family heir is also mine. Oh, I forgot to tell you. He says he claimed Lu Nhin a long time ago. They have been secretly together for years. In a few days, he will take her to meet our dad. After that, they are getting married. I just bitterly mock myself. Lu Nhin actually got famous from auditioning for that young Wu Zixin role. I completely supported her all these years. I let her freely use every single one of my resources to climb to the very top. But she never once agreed to my proposals. Every single time, she just told me to wait a little bit longer. Wait until I become a massive international star. Then I will livestream globally to confess to you. And I actually believe that totally absurd lie. Nhin is looking so incredibly smug right now. He leans right into my space with this highly provocative tone. Already feeling sad, could be tea? This is just the beginning. I am going to make absolutely everyone remember very clearly that I am the true crown prince of the Ku family. You do not even have the right to carry my shoes. I just smile, freezing cold, and suddenly rip his suit jacket right open. He screams out loud, hurriedly hugging his clothes tight. Could be tea. Why are you tearing up my clothes? This is priceless. High-end stuff right here. I answer indifferently. So what if I tear up the suit the brand sent directly to me? He is terrified I will expose the fact that he secretly wore my suit and sneaked my watch. He instantly puts on this deeply pained look and complains during the day you pushed me into the pool. And now, you are purposely making things difficult for me at such an important event. We are supposed to be brothers, not enemies here. He says this with a trembling voice, his face completely full of pain and misery. I feel absolutely nothing, but Lu Nhin is actually feeling real pain. Right on his behalf. She frowns hard and questions me. Could be tea. Do you really have to drive a Nhin to his breaking point? I smirk, raising an eyebrow. I am simply taking back what belongs to me from the third party. Yet that is called destroying him? Or is it just because I was busy mourning my mother and could not give you enough fun, so you found a cheap gold digger to comfort yourself? Lu Nhin stares with a quite serious face. Nhin is not a third party, and he is definitely not a gold digger. He is the man I secretly loved for 10 years. Dated for 3, he is my only official boyfriend. I laugh coldly, my tone dripping with total sarcasm. Then what exactly am I? She hesitates. Nhin immediately reaches out and grabs her hand tight. She squeezes back with equal force, looks straight up at me, and resolutely says, "You are just a mistake to me." I emphasize every single word you are telling me I am a mistake. For her reputation, I never once forced her to make my identity fully public. But the entire entertainment industry knows perfectly well about our highly ambiguous relationship. I poured so much money and endless resources to personally elevate her right into a movie queen. So many fools said I was just desperately clinging to a famous female star. And now, she actually dares to stand here and call me her mistake. The rap party absolutely cannot continue anymore. Everyone standing around is staring right at us with these highly probing eyes. Maybe it is just out of pure stubborn pride. Or maybe she really wants to cut ties with me to marry her one true love. Lu Nhyn raises her head high and says extremely clearly, "Kubit, I truly thank you for sponsoring me 12 years ago. I also thank you for pouring so much money to completely help pave my way through the tough entertainment industry. Rest assured, I will eventually repay all these favors and debts. But I absolutely cannot just use my very own self to repay you. The person I actually love is Heir. I want to marry him. Please do not entangle yourself with me anymore. And please do not make things difficult for Heir. Just let us go." I let out a laugh. She seems to have completely forgotten that without me, she would definitely never have today's success. She also has no idea that even though she is a movie queen now, if she offends me, she could very easily just lose absolutely everything. Now watch this. Thinking of the upcoming fun, I smile more sincerely than ever before. I softly tell her, "All right then." Heir looks up at me, his eyes full of pure shock. Lu Nhyn also shows a quite complex expression, seeming to disbelieve I would easily let go. Just like that. But honestly, so what? She is just a woman. When I actually liked her, I'd dump endless money and rare resources just to constantly keep her happy, defying absolutely everything to do stupid things for her. But the moment I realize she is not worthy of it at all, I can immediately end this pathetic relationship. Besides, I still need to visit the hospital for a full general checkup. I stare right at the totally fake, yet handsome face of Heir with utter contempt. "You really like picking up discarded trash that much? Then I happily reward her to you." Lu Nhyn feels so ashamed that she turns furious, but I do not care at all. I scan the room, quickly spotting a much more interesting prey. Out there, the corners of my lips curl up. I loudly announce I am the eldest young master of the Ku family. On behalf of Ku Group, I completely terminate every single collaboration with Lu Nhyn. Whoever wants to take over her premium resources just needs to give her 10 hard slaps. I will give that person everything. Lu Nhyn glares at me with deep hatred. Heir sharply criticizes me. "Kubit, what right do you have to represent Ku Group? Why do you treat Nhyn like this?" As expected, he is pitifully naive and incredibly stupid. I'm too lazy to pay him any attention, choosing to focus solely on the new prey I just selected. Heir rushes up, wanting to punch me, but Lu Nhyn quickly stops him. He has these red eyes, angrily questioning me. "Kubit, do you really have to make such a scene?" I just shrug. I am bored of her, gotta find a new toy, right? Do not tell me she actually thought she was completely irreplaceable. Lu Nhyn clenches her fists tight, about to say something back to me, but I move faster, turning right toward my target. You feel that tension building? Exactly 3 seconds later, a girl steps up. Triu Nhvn, a heavily neglected rich daughter from the wealthy Triu family. Her presence immediately makes Lu Nhyn look completely inferior. I easily recognize her as that one highly unloved and ignored daughter of the Triu household. Triu Nhvn confidently steps right in front of me and drops her shawl, revealing an absolutely stunning, seductive figure. Underneath that slip dress, everything is neither too big nor too small. It fits my personal aesthetic taste perfectly. Really? Not bad at all. Then she looks at me, eyes full of total freedom. "Please, young master, I hope you are quite satisfied." And that's it. After speaking, she doesn't even put her shawl back on. She just slaps Lu Nhyn hard, beating her down until Lu Nhyn can't even stand up anymore. Finally, she puts her clothes back on while casually apologizing to her. "Lu Nhyn, I'm so sorry, I just want to move up. Hitting you wasn't out of malice. The opportunity you didn't cherish, somebody else will gladly fight for." I'm highly satisfied, gently touching her flushed face. "I'm pretty sure that in the Treem family, you have absolutely zero right to speak up, don't you? Kicked out just to invest in this completely broken down place. I represent a 100 billion collaboration project with you. Is that enough?" Triu Nhvn is incredibly smart. "Thank you so much, young master." Seeing Triu Nhvn secure some very real benefits, the other people around us start wavering too. I don't reject anyone at all. That very same night, Lu Nhyn gets beaten until she's completely unconscious. Heir takes quite a few heavy hits trying to protect her. Meanwhile, I take Triu Nhvn to a hotel. She takes off that slip dress, sitting right on my lap. Her teary, sparkling eyes look at me, overwhelmingly seductive. Young master, can I finally replace Lu Nhyn? She doesn't even wait for me to speak before actively making a move to fight for the estate. I just gently rub her soft chest. Without even glancing back once, I completely wipe all contact with Lu Nhyn, ruthlessly withdrawing every single resource and bit of hidden support I ever gave her. In the industry, people wanting to please me actively find ways to block her path. I don't even bother trying to stop them. I start showing up publicly with Triu Nhvn, making it absolutely crystal clear that Lu Nhyn is just the past. Nh is probably terrified by my sheer ruthlessness, so he stays completely silent for a long time, right up until Valentine's Day. Ku Than Eng absolutely insists I come home to eat with Nh, telling me I have to acknowledge this half-blood brother. But here's the crazy thing. I originally planned to test Triu Nhven's dancing skills for the holiday, but honestly, messing around with Ku Than Eng and Nh sounds way more entertaining, so I just cancel my date with Triu Nhvn and return to the villa right on time. Unsurprisingly, Lu Nhyn is there too, her limbs still covered in bandages. When our eyes finally meet across the room, hers are overflowing with some deep affection, but I just coldly brush past her. I casually watch Nh bow his head, pouring tea for Ku Than Eng, pretending to casually mention father. You haven't invested in any of Nhyn's movies this year. What a real pity. Ku Than Eng just brushes it off. With Nhyn's acting and reputation, she'll get a chance sooner or later. Nh immediately takes the chance to beg him, "Father, can you please give Nhyn some movie resources?" It seems he actually believes that getting Lu Nhyn top-tier movie resources just takes one single word from Ku Than Eng, but he has absolutely no idea that, from the very start, Ku Than Eng had to beg my mother just to take the Kuserne. Before she died, she handed over every single family asset to me. Forget the film industry. Even inside the Ku household, Ku Than Eng has absolutely zero say in anything. I coldly answer for him. He can't. Nh gets furiously angry. What does this have to do with you? I arrogantly look him up and down. Who gave you permission to wear my clothes? Ku Than Eng immediately scolds me. Kubi, don't be so insolent. Than is your older brother. Forget your clothes. He gets a share of this whole Ku family. I frown in pure disgust. Maybe Than doesn't even need anyone plotting against him. Just inheriting Ku Than Eng's sheer stupidity is more than enough to ruin himself. Thinking about Ku Than Eng being my biological father actually makes me feel physically nauseous. Annoyed, I turn around and firmly order the butler to throw all my clothes away. Use Ku Than Eng's dividend money to buy me a brand new set. Yes, young master. The butler immediately sends people to do it. Ku Than Eng is driven completely mad with anger. Kubi, what are you trying to do? Nh is confused while Lu Nhyn just watches me closely. Now watch this unfold. I completely ignore Ku Than Eng, walking to the table as the butler pulls out a chair for me, but seeing the dishes on the table, I suddenly lose all my appetite. Without holding back at all, I openly mock Than you really are just like your mother, only knowing how to use food to please others. But she differs from you in one key way. At least, she dared to climb into bed to fight for benefits. Kubi, provoked by my words, Ku Than Eng furiously grabs a glass of water from the table and throws it right in my face. He acts so fast, even the butler can't stop him. I look at his completely out of control and flustered state, keeping a very cold smile on my lips. Ku Than Eng, do you want to die? Ku Than Eng suddenly panics. Who gave you permission to insult Than's mother? Bang! I lift my chair and smash it violently onto the dining table, knocking over all the dishes. The whole dining room descends into pure chaos. Than can't dodge in time. He gets covered in food and boiling hot soup, hurting so much. He screams tragically. Ku Than Eng is absolutely furious, but doesn't dare stop me. The butler and the servants are totally used to this scene. Only Lu Nhyn is still genuinely shocked. She steps forward, trying to grab my wrist. Kubi, you always just want to do whatever you want, never even caring about anyone else's feelings. Even though Athenage is an illegitimate child, he is still your older brother. Did you really have to make things this ugly? I sneer at her with a very cold, mocking smile. Miss Lu, exactly what right do you? How dare she speak to me? She's just the fiancée of an illegitimate son. A washed-up actress who can only land garbage roles lately. She must have finally realized my massive influence in the entertainment industry. So she forcefully swallows her pride and holds back her anger. Taking 2 steps back, she doesn't dare provoke me anymore. Meanwhile, Athenage brushes the dirt off his clothes, pulls her close, and whispers softly, "Nhyn, you two used to be together after all. It makes total sense that he hates you and wants to take all his bitter anger out on you." I cut him right off. I don't hate her at all, but I'm absolutely furious. Tell me, Athenage, do you know the consequences of crossing me? I take the handkerchief the butler hands me and wipe my hands. Athenage actually still believes that my father, Kuthantieng, runs this family. He forces a smug smile and asks what I could possibly do to him. I stare right back and say it slowly. I want one of your hands. Kuthantieng completely panics and yells at me to stop this madness. I just flash a dark smile at him. When you cheated, my mother already knew. Guess why she let you stay in the Ku family, handing you assets and shares. Once I give you Athen's right hand, I will explain everything. I will tell you the absolute truth. After saying that, I shift my gaze straight down to Athen's hands. Back in the security footage I checked, those exact hands dared to defile the piano and stringed instruments my mother cherished so deeply. They dared to put their filthy marks all over the antique paintings and calligraphy pieces in my personal collection. There is also a highly valuable pair of couples' swords on display, the very second I announce that I want. Now watch this shift in power. I demand Athen's hand, and my butler instantly signals the guards. They immediately swarm the guy, completely trapping him. One of those guards is casually holding a heavy axe. Athenage finally breaks down, crying like an absolute coward. Lu Nhyn and Kuthantieng both desperately try to protect him, but it is completely useless. Athen's right hand is swiftly removed. Kuthantieng rushes over in a total panic. Catching his illegitimate son, the old man glares at me with pure, unfiltered hatred. I meet his eyes calmly. My mother told me to stay here. She figured I would get bored, so I'll just take my time toying with you two. Those shares and properties my mother gave you are barely anything. Honestly, I can take it all back whenever I feel like it. Kuthantieng, have you been living way too comfortably these past few years? Did you actually forget who my mother was? A total legend in the financial world. Ruthless, quiet, but absolutely brutal when she made a move. If you still want your luxurious life, do not provoke me. Kuthantieng instantly deflates. He remains as incredibly selfish as ever. And honestly, it just leaves me feeling completely bored. I order the butler to keep a close eye on him and kick all the irrelevant outsiders out. From this moment on, Athenage has absolutely no connection to the Ku family anymore. The only reason Athenage is still breathing is my mother's mercy. He was intentionally raised to be completely naive and foolish, all because my mother refused to let an illegitimate child threaten my rightful position as the true heir. My mother was someone who actually came from another world. She was a brilliant strategist, and her main mission was to conquer Kuthantieng. The original host was a literal princess of the financial world, cold and decisive in business, but foolishly obsessed with the completely broke, arrogant student. When my mother transmigrated into her body, she took over the host's life and pursued Kuthantieng. She treated him incredibly well, but in return, that man only knew how to scheme and take advantage of her. He acted perfectly sweet on the outside, while secretly plotting to steal every last drop of her massive fortune. He wanted to completely replace her, but my mother stayed sharp. She just tossed him a few scraps now and then, slowly turning him into a useless dependent. Honestly, she only cared about finishing her system mission and returning to her own world, so she genuinely did not care when he started an affair with his precious first love. She even moved Kuthantieng's first love in with his illegitimate son, Athenage, letting them live together comfortably. But that first love was never satisfied. She constantly manipulated Kuthantieng into causing ridiculous trouble. After putting up with it for a while, my mother quietly arranged an accident, removing her from the picture permanently. Then she shipped Athenage to a facility, completely molding him into a clueless, simple-minded fool. Ku Than Tieng had absolutely no idea what my mother did to them. He was too busy drowning in his own massive ego, convinced my mother could never, ever leave him. He resented her while greedily burning through her money. Finally, after a long time of watching this play out, Ku Than Tieng actually developed real feelings for her. But my mother didn't hesitate for a single second. She immediately left this world. Her departure was actually just a glorious rebirth, and me, guarding her casket was just my own quiet way of saying a very long, final goodbye to her. I completely accepted her choice. Just like Yang Thenh inherited all of Ku Than Tieng's absolute stupidity, I ended up inheriting all of my mother's cold and ruthless ambition. But here is the crazy part. My mother wasn't even nice to me. She was incredibly strict, barely showing any warmth or maternal affection, but I knew she loved me. Ku Than Tieng, though, he never loved me at all. My entire childhood was covered in a dull, heavy gray, until the day Ku Than Tieng wanted to provide for Yang Thenh and dumped me at an orphanage. I didn't cry or beg him. I simply picked out the 10 most beautiful little girls there. I treated them like delicate toys, and honestly, finally found some joy out of them all. Lu Nhyn kept me most entertained, but time proved she was incredibly greedy. Luckily for me, I got bored and saw right through her little act. Lu Nhyn has absolutely zero chance to deceive me ever again. Everything I once gave her, I handed it all straight to Triu Nhvn. If she knows how to serve me well, I can easily help her reclaim her family's assets. I might even turn her into an international superstar, way more valuable than Lu Nhyn ever was. I have the money, the absolute power. Whatever I want, I can take. I can give someone the absolute best. But I can also make sure Lu Nhyn never finds peace in the financial world again. She always takes Yang Thenh's side, so I am absolutely not holding back. At the charity banquet, I actually bring Triu Nhvn along as my date. Why? Because she is straightforward, listens perfectly, and is incredibly smart. Honestly, the ideal companion for my standards. But surprisingly, I spot Lu Nhyn and Yang Thenh right there. Even under my strict warning, Ku Than Tieng somehow still gave Yang Thenh a house. That little gift made him forget the pain of losing his arm. And now, he is acting all arrogant again. I just cut Ku Than Tieng's dividends. Once the old man realizes his cash flow is drying up, he will naturally learn to behave. Yang Thenh must absolutely despise me. Lu Nhyn clearly wants to avoid me, yet this guy deliberately drags her right in front of my face. He acts so smug and says, "Little brother, do you really think throwing money at women actually buys their hearts? You and I are definitely not the same. Nhyn is marrying me and only loves me. Dad even acknowledged me as his only real son, letting me step up to represent the family tonight. Are you going crazy with jealousy?" I do not even bother replying. Just totally ignore it. I just pull Triu Nhvn close and follow President Triu into the main hall. But of course, Yang Thenh absolutely cannot stand being completely ignored. He chases after us, absolutely furious. Ku BT, you have zero shame. Dumping Nhyn and instantly grabbing a new girl. Were you sneaking around with other women while you two were together? You jerk. I just calmly reply. You sound like you are describing yourself right now. The second I finish speaking, boom. Triu Nhvn casually throws her entire wine glass straight at Yang Thenh's head. Shattered glass and red liquid splash everywhere over him. Then she puts on this pitiful act. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I just panic when crazy people start yelling. Watch this little performance. My hands just shook. Nobody can blame me, right? Just like that, Yang Thenh completely becomes the center of attention for the entire banquet. Lu Nhyn senses the shifting mood and quietly lets go of his arm. But Yang Thenh actually thinks he can use this embarrassing moment to play the victim and drag me down with him. He wipes his face, putting on a brave and stubborn front, and yells, "Ku BT, you viciously ruined your own brother's arm, stole everything from our biological father, and then locked him up in the house. You use your money to arrogantly force people into acting like your little pets. Ku BT, you are incredibly cruel for doing all this. You honestly belong in a cell. Even if the law cannot touch you, I am going to expose your true, ugly face to everyone here tonight." a view right now. The whole banquet hall goes absolutely silent. Yang Th cries out in pain, but nobody gives me a single weird look. Instead, they are all staring at him with these deeply judging eyes. Yang Th gets super panicked now. He desperately yells out, "Did I say something wrong? Why is everyone looking at me like that?" Right then, the real host of the night, Madam Thumb, walks up with a water basin and splashes freezing water right in his face. Yang Th screams in pure shock. Madam Thumb completely ignores him and just turns to me young. "Master Ku, can you not manage your own family? Why let an illegitimate outsider scream in front of the host like this? In my house, behavior like this is absolutely forbidden." Her brutal mocking makes Yang Th flush so red, he looks ready to sink into the floor. I just flash a polite smile, truly sorry about that. The very next second, President Triu gives a quick, panicked look, signaling the security to rush in. Two massive bodyguards grab Yang Th from both sides, getting ready to toss him right out the door. Even with him struggling wildly, screaming and causing a massive scene, those guards do not slow down for a single second. And that is when Lu Nhyn, who was acting completely invisible until now, suddenly snaps at me. "Kubit, are you crazy? Do you really have to push a Th into a corner to be satisfied? Tell them to let a Th go right now." But before she can even finish, Triu Nhvn steps up and delivers an absolutely earth-shattering slap. "Miss Lu, please do not talk to BT with that kind of attitude, or you are going to make me very annoyed." I just coldly watch her. Right after Triu Nhvn slaps Lu Nhyn, President Triu quickly waves his hand. He orders the event staff to immediately restore the elegant music in the hall. Madam Thumb leads the other wealthy ladies back into their cheerful gossip. It honestly seems like nobody gives a single look at Lu Nhyn collapsed on the floor, or Yang Th getting physically dragged out of the building. I just lean down and stare right at Lu Nhyn, giving one final warning. "Remember this well. You are nothing but trash I threw away. You must have realized your industry resources are drying up faster than ever, right? If you do not want to end up begging on the streets, then never show your face in front of me again." Lu Nhyn trembles, calling my name like she is about to beg, but Triu Nhvn does not give her the chance, stepping in to deliver one more vicious slap. I do not stop it. Why would I scold a smart little companion I am currently so fond of, all over a piece of rotten trash? Yang Th is now the ultimate joke in high society, and Ku Tiang has been a laughingstock here for ages anyway. He honestly cannot do a single thing to help him. Lu Nhyn once thought that if she just picked Yang Th, the so-called legitimate heir of the Ku family, her little fairy tale romance would stay totally perfect. But seriously, what did she expect? She was entirely wrong. A bastard with zero status who is genuinely this clueless. How could he survive high society? Plus, to top it off, by silently letting Triu Nhvn slap Lu Nhyn in public, I made sure she completely lost every single resource she had left. With his protection completely gone, Lu Nhyn is cut off. She can't even survive in the entertainment world anymore. But our girl is too arrogant to quit. So to get the resources to stay afloat, she finally chooses to swallow her pride. She wants to meet him. BT responds with a simple invitation to his own engagement party with Triu Nhvn. Now, this whole marriage setup with Nhvn isn't exactly about romance. It's strictly business. She needs his power to take back her family's company, and in exchange, she's absolutely ready to hand over 50% of Triu Corporation's shares to him. He happily takes the deal. Once the wedding date is locked in, Triu Nhvn constantly finds ways to keep him happy. One day, right in the middle of their chess game, Lu Nhyn suddenly barges in. Seeing her absolutely miserable face, BT just pops a white rabbit candy into his mouth, leans right over, and feeds it to Triu Nhvn. She plays along perfectly. Lu Nhyn just stands there totally frozen, her expression turning incredibly ugly. But this time around, she doesn't dare open her mouth to ruin the mood. She just waits patiently. After chewing the very last bit of candy, he finally pulls Nhvn close, looking up at Lu Nhyn with this faint, mocking smile. "What do you want? Now pay attention here." Days ago, with Ku Tiang turning a blind eye, he'd shipped Yang Th straight to Myanmar, took his phone, cut his bank cards. The guy must be living in absolute hell right now. BT never planned to see him again, but looking right at Lu Nhyn, he suddenly remembers how, not too long ago, she was loudly claiming that she had been secretly in love with Yang Thenh for 10 whole years. Yet today, instead of asking if he's alive, she literally drops to her knees begging, BT, I know I messed up, please let me come back to you. Seeing her this humiliated, he isn't even angry anymore. Honestly, he just feels pretty stupid for ever misjudging her. He picks up a glass of red wine, dumps it straight over her head, and tells her to walk. That night, Trio Nhvn gets crazy jealous and totally wears him out. Once he's had his fun, he just grabs her face, chuckling. Alright, enough. She looks totally annoyed, asking if he just sees her as Lu Nhyn's backup. He shakes his head. How could I? She looks right up at him. Then I can do whatever I want with her, right? He calmly gives his answer. Of course you can. After all, he really doesn't care about that woman anymore, as long as Trio Nhvn keeps him dissatisfied. Actually, marrying her wouldn't be a problem at all. As for that problem, Lu Nguyen completely vanished from my life. Then one day, Tru Navan casually dropped the news. She sent Lu Nguyen away to Myanmar to be with Yang Than. She looked a bit worried I would get mad, but I just smiled and kissed her right on the lips, then handed her a massive project. A few days later, I completely fired every single servant that Kwai Tung had secretly bribed. I even had the butler cut off his entire profit share. The guy threw a massive fit over it, but he could not do a single thing. Now watch how I play this. I pulled some strings and swallowed his shares in Kwai Corporation. Seeing his entire fortune was now reduced down to nothing but a couple of houses, he was absolutely terrified and quietly backed off. My mother was a true strategist. She once had to put up with Kwai Tung running around cheating just so he could enjoy a wealthy, totally worry-free life. But not me. I finally secured my ultimate payback for my younger self, and avenged my mother too. From this moment on, no piece of trash will ever be able to ruin my mood or get in my way ever again.